Welcome everybody to Culture of Gaming's Retro Rumble podcast. Today you have an Australian on the other end instead of an Englishman or an American. My name is Anthony. You probably know me from some of the streams that I've done and the Power Up podcast. That was a bit of an interesting intro. And today we have three Australians on the panel, which is a bit of a different kettle of fish, I suppose you could say. As usual, we are joined by Joel. How are you today, Joel?
I am fine and extremely tired.
Okay.
Apart from that, yeah, fine.
Well, it is only 7 o'clock, 7 a.m. I should say. And a brand newcomer to the podcast, but she's been on the site for how long? Like 6 or so months, probably longer, something like that. About a year. Okay, gee, time flies.
Yeah, about a year.
Chelsea, how are you today?
I am tired, but I am well.
Excellent. Now, starting straight off, Joel, what have you been playing the past couple of days or weeks?
League of Legends.
Oh dear.
And just League of Legends, pretty much.
Okay, did you jump into a game called Eternal or something like that, or?
Oh, yes, I did that for a bit. Yeah, I didn't play it like for a couple of months already, but that's still a really fun game.
Yep.
I recommend it if you love Hearthstone and Magic of the Gathering. It is pretty much a mixture of the two, so...
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun. What about you, Chelsea? What have you been playing the past couple of days or weeks?
All I've really been playing is Fallout 4 when I'm not studying, because I'm trying to at least finish the game once.
Wow, hey, you got to get through it before 76 comes out, so...
Yeah, playing through it now.
Yeah, fair enough.
I am so looking forward to that.
Yeah? When does that come
Yeah.
out? Like September? No,
It comes out
October.
In October. It's 74 days until release today.
Ooh, and it's...
Oh.
Wait, it should have been 76.
Yeah, 76 was 2 days ago. We should have done this 2 days ago.
Exactly. As for myself, I've been running through Ace Combat. I've been emulating some Ace Combat 1, and technically I do own these games, so don't worry about the whole legal situation.
Well, at least you're not being illegal.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I've finished Ace Combat 1 and Ace Combat 2 and Ace Combat 3, and I'm now on Ace Combat 4 because they just announced the Ace Combat 7 trailer, so I've still got a few games to go.
Nice.
And then the next game after that is Ace Combat 76, but you know, we don't...
Ace Combat 76. What's that, like 62 away?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah, it'll be right.
It'll be right. And I've also been playing some Zelda Ocarina of Time. Been kind of going down the retro route the past couple of days, couple of weeks anyway. And yeah, I've been streaming some Ocarina of Time, which has been going quite well. We've had a few people come in and check it out, and I've been failing at it severely, which is about par for the course for me. I'm not the best at like retro stuff, so
Yeah, at least you're giving it a go.
Exactly.
At least you're honest, and that's all that matters.
Oh gee, I don't know. But yeah, that's about it from me. So we'll jump straight. I'm trying to find the blinking Google Doc. We'll jump straight into it. So obviously our main topic for today is Pokemon, as you can probably tell from the image that we've got on our stream. If you're wanting to ask questions while we're streaming this and chatting about it, you can do so in the Twitch chat right now. You can quiz these two Pokemon geniuses. I'm not so much a genius myself.
I am...
Do you have an objection, Joe?
I like playing Pokemon, but I'm no Pokemon genius.
Okay, fair enough.
Well,
you're probably more than me.
my time to shine.
Precisely, there you go. You can do that you can ask us questions on our Twitch chat. You can head on over to our Twitter, which is twitter.com/cog.net. You can also jump onto our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/culture of gaming, or just at Culture of Gaming as well. You can check out our Discord, which is down below. Just click on that big Discord button, and that'll allow you to join our Discord community server, which you can also ask questions in there. We're going to be doing like a couple of quiz episodes and a couple of special episodes on this podcast, which will be focusing mainly on community questions and all that kind of stuff. And apart from that, that's kind of it as far as the whole plugging situation goes. So jumping straight into the topic. Last week we discussed, well, I wasn't technically on that one, but we discussed the first 3 generations of Pokemon, so Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3. Today we're going to be focusing on Gen 4 through to Gen 7. I've got that part right, so that's a good start. So what experience do either of you have with Generation 4? Chelsea, you go first.
I've played the 3 games, the 3 Sinnoh games that came out of that one.
Yep.
And no, I don't think, the 3 Sinnoh games that came out of that one, I've played all of them.
Okay, so Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver?
Yeah, I've played those ones as well.
Awesome. What was like one of your favourite things about those kind of games?
It was a different story to the ones that I had experienced before.
Yep.
So, and I liked the idea of the time-space thing.
Yep, okay.
Which was awesome, so...
Okay, nice. Joel, what about yourself?
I only played Diamond for a bit.
Diamond for a bit.
Oh, and a bit of Heart Gold, actually.
Okay.
No, Heart Gold was like, I tried a bit, I'm like, nah, it's way too slow, so I went back to the original Gold, because it's actually much quicker.
Yeah, fair enough.
And, but, Diamond was interesting. I don't actually remember much. All I remember was just that I really liked Empoleon. That's it.
Okay, cool.
Empoleon's pretty badass, though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
definitely.
Now, I'll just be completely honest here. I don't really know much about the whole, like, Pokemon per creature kind of thing, but I do know about the games. I did play Heart Gold myself, and I did play some Platinum as well. But that was like, what, 6 or so years ago, or probably more, 7, 8 years ago-ish? I got Heart Gold because it came out on 3DS, and I got that when the 3DS first came out, or when Heart Gold first released for the 3DS, I should say. So it's getting on a number of years, so I can't really remember the whole storyline and all that kind of stuff. But that's why you two are here, to refresh my memory.
Exactly.
Yay.
So, okay, so what was your first encounter you had with Gen 4? Like, what game was it that you first played? Or how long ago was it, kind of thing?
It was Pokemon Diamond, and I believe I got it when it first came out.
Okay, so was that on Game Boy Advance? Or...
No, that was on
DS.
Nintendo DS.
Okay, DS.
It was the first Pokemon title on DS.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. What about you, Joe?
It was Diamond as well, and I'm
Yep.
pretty sure it's because I borrowed a friend's DS sometime in primary school, I believe it was. Either that or it was early high school. But
Okay.
either way, that's my experience with it, so.
Okay. Okay, cool. As for me, it's probably Heart Gold. I first got into it, which was on 3DS, so I'm a couple of years behind, and then I kind of went back
Heart
and...
Gold wasn't on 3DS, it was on Nintendo DS.
It was Nintendo DS.
It got re-released for 3DS, I'm fairly certain.
No, it didn't.
Oh,
No.
Wait. Ah, darn. Okay, it was DS. I had my hopes up then.
But you probably got it on the 3DS, because they sort of came out similarly timed.
I mean, the 3DS can still play it, I'm pretty sure. There's no...
Yeah.
Ah, maybe that's what it was. I think I might have
Yeah.
played the DS version on 3DS. I think that was it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay, so I
That
wasn't...
sounds likely.
I'm not senile after all.
Nah.
Bit young for that. So, where are my questions? So, what would you say is your favourite Gen 4 game overall?
Look, I'm gonna have to say Diamond.
Diamond. What would you
Yeah,
say sets that apart from the others, do you reckon?
Well, it's a personal experience that set it apart from the others. It's the fact that it was my first Pokemon game on the DS,
Yeah.
and the first game that I had on the DS in general. So
Okay.
there's sort of that connection to it.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Joel? What would you say is your favorite Gen 4 game?
Probably Diamond, because that's the one I actually played. I
Fair enough.
I didn't really like the remakes for Gold and Silver that much,
Yep.
and I don't think Platinum changed that much of the story to make a difference, so I can't really judge Platinum.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, probably not all of us have played all of these games running through like Gen 4 through to Gen 7, like every game in the generation kind of thing. So it's just going off your own experience, which is fair enough. So following off the previous question, what would you say is your favourite Gen 4 Pokemon or starting Pokemon in Gen 4? And why?
So if we're going off Pokemon and starting Pokemon, I'd have to go Dialga, mainly because I caught it in a Pokeball once.
Ooh, yeah?
Yeah, without cheating it. It was my very last Pokeball, and I
Okay.
didn't expect to catch it, and I still caught it. I don't know how.
That's a bit of a fluke.
I've never been able to replicate that in my
Yeah?
life. Yeah.
Okay. What was that in Diamond or?
Yeah, that was in Diamond.
Okay, cool. What about you, Joel?
Wait, give me a sec. I just want to double check whether this Pokemon came out in this generation or not first.
Okay, cool. No worries.
Yes.
Yes?
It looks like it is. Cincino in Gen 4. Cincino is my favorite Pokemon because it is the Pokemon that I actually use in competitive.
I'm pretty
And
sure
I
Cincino
just
came
like-
out in Gen 5.
It has a Gen 4 moveset according to Bulbapedia.
It does?
Bulbapedia is where it's at.
Yeah, Bulbapedia is where it's at, but I'm pretty sure it came out in Gen 5. Might be
Okay.
mistaken there, but that's okay.
I will double check.
That's okay.
Cool. Well, I can't
Give me a sec, guys.
Yep, go for it.
Okay.
I can't really say as far as my favourite because I can't really. Gee,
Oh
I'm-
no, it's Gen 5. God
Gen
damn
5?
it. Oh, fine. I have to find. Oh, fine. I'll just go with Empoleon. Because Empoleon, I think, alright, since Cincino is not part of Gen 4, Empoleon would probably be the only one that I actually use that's part of Gen 4.
Okay.
That's mainly because of the secondary steel type, which I really like for a water type.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's I think Empoleon is just it's just like badass. The fact that it has so many good moves.
Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. Nothing.
What?
Nothing. It's all good. It's all good.
What?
Nothing. It's fine. It's fine. So I would have to say, like, as far as
Wait, hold on.
hold on.
Duronsky? No, I am not a Pokemon expert. I never was. These guys just lumped me into it.
Hey,
Expect me
look.
to know everything about Pokemon.
What?
I play Pokemon competitive, yeah, but I only know a strict limited amount of Pokemon.
I know
And I don't
Pikachu.
care about the rest.
Fair enough. I'm sure you've got a better knowledge base than me. So
I mean, like, why know which Pokemon came from which gen when you can just learn what makes them so strong and what you use to beat up people with? I don't know. So,
well, that's true.
what?
Why even know the
I feel
tool
like I'm
that
being
you
bullied here.
use? Well, it's like saying, "Oh, gee, I don't know what a gun is. I just know what a bullet is."
I don't know how to make a gun, but I can
Okay.
surely pull the trigger. It's like that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That makes sense.
Uh.
As far as mine, I would have to go with the dude on the Pearl cover, which is Palkia, just because of like how powerful it is. And
Legendaries.
yeah, well, hey, come on. And you know, the whole build up to it and all that kind of stuff is kind of like what caught my attention.
Yeah, Pup's pretty. So you're not wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
You
and
can't ever be wrong.
you can. So I mean, it's like one of my. I prefer. Like, I love the starting Pokemon, like all of the Pikachus and all that kind of stuff, but I prefer the whole legendary kind of route because that's kind of where you're working towards. It's what you catch all of them before that, and then you go in and then, oh gee, this guy's absolutely powerful as. So it's like, well, why not kind of thing. So to me, he's a pretty obvious choice. I do presume it's a he too. So.
Yeah, it's just they're gender neutral, so he is the confirmed in They like to say he in the Pokemon movies that come out, so you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm right then. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Cool. Okay, so what was your first experience with Pokemon? This is moving a bit away from the whole Gen 4 kind of thing, but your first ever game that you played, and like a bit of backstory to it, like the age, how you got it kind of thing,
So my first game was actually Pokemon Sapphire. My mum bought it for me as a birthday present because this was when like the Game Boy Advance, the Game Boy Micro was still a thing.
Yep.
So yeah, that kind of makes me feel old now that I've said it, and I'm not that old. But yeah, it was that was my first ever video game actually.
Okay.
That I owned.
Cool. Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
What about you, Joel?
So to repeat it again. Alright, so for those that didn't watch it last week, I had a Game Boy Advance that my sister got from a friend, and I played Pokemon Gold on it and shared that game with my sister, and we both had to sneak behind our parents' backs because, you know, back then Asian parents were like, no games, and so
Yeah.
that's my experience with it.
Hey, look, I can
First
relate.
experience with Pokemon.
I can relate, like, growing up in a whole... Not that now, people think that, you know, oh, you're so sheltered and all this and all that, but, like, growing up in, like, a Christian family, I suppose, you're not allowed to, like... It's not that you're not allowed to, but you're not encouraged to kind of go out and watch movies and all that kind of thing.
Highly advised against. Or you get a
Precisely. Well, not a beating, but anyway. So...
Just grounded for the rest of your life.
Yep, that's about it. So, but I mean, because of certain circumstances and whatnot that we had happen during our my early years when I was like 5 and whatnot, one of the first games that I got into was on the Nintendo 64, which was, I think it was... So the first ever game that I played was Donkey Kong 64, but the first Pokemon game that got me into it, I think was... What was that Pokemon game on Nintendo 64? Pokemon Showdown?
Pokemon Coliseum?
I think it was Stadium.
Stadium, Coliseum, one of the two.
Yeah, one of the two. I think they're both the same game, but they're both called something different in different countries. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not even like a proper Pokemon game. That's more like a battle thing. But that was kind of what was like, you know, you're playing as these mythical creatures that gives you an escape from life kind of thing. So it's like that had a bit of an impact on me. So, but I mean, it's since then I haven't really. It's funny because when you're young, you kind of think, oh gee, these games are awesome, and then when you grow up, it's like, oh yeah, can't really be bothered going into them because there's so much other stuff to play, kind of thing.
No. I highly disagree with that. It's like when you're young, you're like, wow, this is such an amazing game, and then when you're older, you're like, wow,
I have to replay
this is still an amazing game.
Well,
at least that's how I feel.
I wouldn't say that about GoldenEye. That is so bad.
GoldenEye still holds up. I still enjoy playing GoldenEye on the N64.
Oh dear, okay. Have fun with that, no worries. That is... okay.
I do. Thanks.
Okay, so, yeah. Do you feel so before I jump into that question, why do you love or play the Pokemon games that you play nowadays? Or why do you still play them?
Because I was born on the first anniversary of Pokemon, so it just seems sort of natural for me to play it. Like,
Okay.
I've played it all my life, so why not?
Fair enough. That makes a pretty decent amount of sense to me.
Yeah.
What about you, Joel?
It probably originally started as a competition between me wanting to beat my sister at something,
Yep.
and it just sort of stuck, and now I enjoy it as it is. I think the main reason now that I play and enjoy Pokemon games is because I still have yet to find like my personal team that I really enjoy.
Okay.
So far, I only have 2 that I confirmed in my team.
Yep.
So yeah,
And what Pokemon would they be?
Milotic and Cincino.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. That's better than Snorlax.
Snorlax is actually a good Pokemon though. I think I saw this person had Belly Drum Belly Drum Rest, Sleep Talk, and Earthquake, I think it was, or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that
So-
sounds like a decent moveset.
Yeah, maximizes their attack, halves their HP. They just heal it back all with Rest, and then they Sleep Talk, and then if they get Earthquake, you're pretty much dead if you're not a flying Pokemon, so...
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yep.
Hilarious.
The only reason why I brought up Snorlax is because I saw you when you were playing some Pokemon game, like one of the recordings that you did for the site. I think you picked like 7 Snorlaxes. I'm like, okay, this guy loves his Snorlax.
That's a pity that like I didn't have a proper microphone for that. I probably had to. Yeah, it was. I thought I should troll on my first recording, so I picked 6 Snorlaxes and I just gave them really random builds.
Oh my gosh.
I only put Earthquake.
Oh,
And
that's
so I was
right.
like, alright, as long as we're not against a flying type, we win this. And the first guy I go up against only had 1 Pokemon, and it was a flying type, and I'm like, what? No way!
Oh dear.
Sorry, I selfed it though, I selfed it. I gave one of the Snorlaxes Thunder Punch, that's it. So the rest had Earthquake.
Fair enough. So it was like he was the only one that went up against the flying type. Poor dude.
Aww.
He felt lonely, you know, on his own fighting a flying type. Okay, so as far as myself, I would say I still play Pokemon games just because of the whole memory experience, like playing it, like having like the kind of the whole medical condition and everything kind of thing that I've got, and then gaming was like a massive part of my life. So it's like had an impact. I suppose the games that you first started playing are the ones that had the most impact on you. So you always try and gravitate to those kind of games again, even when you're like 20-ish years older or whatever it is. 15 years older is probably better off. So I mean, I probably still play Pokemon just because I kind of gravitate towards it more, and because it's just down memory lane kind of thing. And I could say the same thing about Donkey Kong, but I haven't really picked up a Donkey Kong game in like 5 years or so. So that scenario totally works.
Yeah, that scenario works.
Yeah. So, do you feel the series has peaked or has gone downhill? And if so, at what point and why?
I don't really have an opinion on this because I like the Pokemon games for the individuality they have. But I think that if I had to say where it peaked, I'd have to say about Black 2 and White 2, and then sort of the quality's just gone downhill slightly from there, especially with Ultra Sun and Moon, which is the only ones I haven't played, mainly because the story hasn't diverged from the original Sun and Moon.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. What about you, Joel?
I think it went downhill, like twice. Because it goes up and down all the time. I think it went downhill the first time when 4th gen was released, but
Yep.
then I think it made a solid comeback, and then I personally felt like it went down during X and Y as well. But if I were to think of the peak, I would actually agree with Chelsea on Black and White.
Okay.
Black and White too.
Okay, so this is kind of off topic, but it's kind of reminded me of this. Do you think that this new Pokemon game that's coming out for Nintendo Switch will have kind of something to prove, or do you think that they can kind of just keep going along the same path? Or do you think they need to kind of radicalize the gameplay a little bit?
This is Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, right?
Nope, the AAA one that's coming out for Switch. Not
Ooh,
AAA,
right.
sorry, the main series one.
The one that I haven't heard a lot about.
Well, I don't think anybody has. They haven't really released any details on it yet.
No, not really.
There was a fake leak, I think, that was going around, and the people were so psyched for it until it's like, nope, you got
Yeah.
trolled, and then now there's like outrage and stuff like that. I haven't looked at it yet, so, but what? Honestly, I don't have anything that I want the Pokemon games to truly give.
Yep.
Because the way it is right now, I think it's just fine. Like, as long as they introduce something new that's nice, that's fresh, and doesn't interrupt the way Pokemon is,
Yep.
I think that's fine.
Okay. What about you,
Yeah,
Chelsea?
it has to.
Unless there's actually like a open world thing that they did with
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild, that would be epic. I would play that. I would definitely play that. Pokemon in an open world survival.
That would be pretty cool.
Survival, as in like Fallout 4-ish, or
Hell yeah.
Pokemon
Fallout
with
4
nukes.
styled Pokemon.
Yes.
Could totally go for that.
Yeah. Pokemon that have been through like a nuclear war and then have like nuclear capabilities and machine
Oh,
gun
God.
mutations
Soon
and
to
all.
be released in 2020, Pokemon 76.
Confirmed. Oh dear.
Oh gosh. I kind of agree with Joel there. The fact that there's nothing really that Pokemon has to prove, but if they continued like the core concept of the Pokemon games, that'll be okay. That's what we're looking for in a Pokemon game. And if there's enough differences to make it like set it apart from the others, that's even better.
Yeah, okay. I mean, at the moment they kind of blend a good mix of everything kind of thing. So it's like a good mix of battling, a good mix of like
Yeah.
running and all that kind of stuff, and like trekking to the different towns and like the whole level cap situation and all that, as far as when your Pokemon like evolve and all that. So I don't really think that I think that they could do something completely unique and something completely different, and kind of have it as not like a spin-off, but like a different kind of formula kind of thing.
That could work.
Yeah, that could work quite well, but it's, by the sounds of it, because it's going down like the main, not the main line, but they're doing like another solid entry in the series, it sounds like they're going to kind of keep it the same.
Probably.
They might, but they could just still surprise us and just change up the formula entirely. We have no idea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be cool
Oh.
to see. Definitely.
Pokemon Modern Warfare.
Oh dear.
Oh
dear.
no.
Pokemon World War II. Okay, so some battling questions for you. What are your tactics when battling? Like, what kind of movesets do you try and have? That kind of thing. Joe, I think this is more in your court.
Yes, it is. Do I go first, or do you want
Yep.
to go
Yeah.
first, Chelsea?
You can answer
Okay.
first, because
There's so many different strategies to use. It honestly depends on what I'm feeling. But my main one would be so Cincino is my physical sweeper. I usually have 2 physical sweepers, or maybe a support,
Yep.
because I have a pretty aggressive playstyle, and so yeah, I usually start out with Cincino. Either that or a trap Pokemon of some sort that can put wow, I haven't done this in ages. I forgot what it's called already. Stealth Rock, Spikes and Toxic Spikes, something like that, or Sticky Web if I want to outspeed my opponent.
Okay.
Cinccino, basically what happens is I have Cinccino has a hidden passive called Skill Link,
Yep.
which you probably have to grind for a lot.
Yep.
What happens is multi-hit moves like Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, which Cinccino can learn,
Yep.
will always hit for 5, which is the maximum. No, normally I do either I think it was Citrus Berry that heals yourself when you're past half HP, or Focus Man to not get Focus Sash to not get one shot. But most of the time I do take King's Rock, which I believe is the one where each of your hits that do not have a flinching chance has a chance to flinch, since I hit 5 times. So it's a decent amount of status chance. My strategy with Melodic is that she's just a tank, and so okay, as a special defense tank, right? I don't need to put that much into the special defense stat, so
Yep.
I think that's fine. So she's just a really powerful wall.
Yep.
Being a water type, most of them have recover, which is hilarious because I can just keep healing. I have toxic, some sort of water type move. Scout. Scout would probably be my number 1 pick due to the fact that it can burn targets as well.
Yep.
Toxic is just there to pretty much. Actually, why do I Scald and Toxic? Wow, I should probably revisit my strategies. And then the last move for that would be Ice Beam, because Dragon is just such a pain to deal with, and Ice is just is a necessity.
Yep. Okay.
And so yeah, let's see. Apart from that, I just play with different teams now and then. Sometimes I go Hitmontop.
Yep.
And I go what was that passive called again? I think it was Technician. I'm pretty sure it was Technician. And basically I just go with priority moves like Sucker Punch, Bullet Punch, Mac Punch, all the priority moves, and so I always hit first. So I put all my stats into tank and attack, and I just always hit first because I have priority attack. That's another interesting skill set that I use. Ferrothorn, which is another interesting Pokemon. It's a grass steel type. It's very decent when it comes to tanking anything that's not fire.
Yep.
And it's a good setup Pokemon. Stealth Rock, Spikes, all that good stuff that you can use. What else? Sometimes I like to dabble with Arcanine Tank because it knows Morning Glory, and it's hilarious because no one realizes that Arcanine can tank. What else?
There's a education for all you noobs out there, including me.
Yep. Including me too.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else? I don't use Mega Blaziken anymore because he's too simple and straightforward that you know what. He only has pretty much one strategy, which is Mega Evolve and use Protect, so then you get a speed bonus with his passive, and then you just beat the living crap out of your opponent. That's pretty much it. You gotta,
Fair enough.
And I forgot. Aegis Slash.
Oh dear.
I would consider him normally part of my normal team, but he's just so dirty. Whoever plays Aegis Slash has no soul. It's so Aegis Slash has a passive, stance changing passive. So he has a defense stance and an attack stance, and when he attacks, he changes into his stats move to his attack and special attack. And then in defense, his attack, his stats change into defense and special defense being the higher ones.
Okay.
So what you want to do is to make sure you're the slowest Pokemon, so that you always attack second. So you tank the first hit with your really, really powerful tank stats.
Yep.
And then when you change stance, you hit really powerfully. And so it's just such a ridiculous Pokemon. especially since it has King's Shield, which is a protect that has priority, and anything that has physical damage that attacks you, you just lower the attack.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, Aegislash is just such a dirty Pokemon.
Chelsea, do you have anything to like improvise on there?
Not really, because I'm not much of a competitive battler. I actually play the games just to collect and fill up my Pokédex.
Okay.
But yeah, so I can't really have an opinion on this.
Cool. Neither can I, because I've never like played like competitive Pokemon or anything like that. So I'm more there for the story and there for like the enjoyment and the gameplay factor.
Yeah.
Now, have any of you played any of the Gen 4 spin-offs at all?
Gen 4 spin-offs.
So we have Pokemon Battle Revolution,
Nope.
Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time.
Yes, I love that game.
Yeah.
I personally prefer Explorer of the Sky.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the best out of all of them.
Okay. Why do you love it so much?
It's got a really, really good storyline, a really emotionally charged story.
Yes.
It's
All the mystery dungeons are so good when it comes to story. Like I think I wrote a review on the mystery Red Mystery Team.
Yes.
Red Rescue Team.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yep,
And then
yep.
you read that, Chelsea.
Yes,
And then you
I did.
came to me afterwards, and you're like, "Oh, Joe, I read your review." And I'm like,
Yeah.
I like it, and I'm like,
I love it.
But yeah, the Mystery Dungeon, I'm just so impressed with it as a spin-off, because the way it takes away from the mainstream, it gives personality to Pokemons that make them so human.
Yeah.
And what's the word? Personification. And so it's just so good. The story is just so good and unique every single time. They're never interlinked with each other. There is never a one-step formula, and it just continues to change every single.
And the
Mystery
quality
Dungeon.
never goes down either. Like, it's always such good quality. Like, Red Rescue and Blue Rescue Team are in a quality that's can be compared to Time, Darkness, and Sky, and then Super Mystery Dungeon, which I didn't ever complete, but I played a lot of it. They are just all the same quality, and they are so good.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. So you recommend people go out and play them?
Yes,
Yes.
especially Explorers of Sky. Go and play it.
Okay, I'll
Oh,
get on that
Explorers
actually.
of Sky was so sad. It actually made me cry.
Yeah, I cried as well. You'll cry.
Okay, cool. Nothing's ever brought me to tears.
Oh,
Not
this
quite.
manly man over here.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's probably because you were brought up in a Christian family. Crying is nothing.
Oh dear. So basically for the Gen 4 spin-offs, you got Battle Revolution, Mystery Dungeon, Explorers of Time, Explorers of Darkness, Mystery Dungeon, Stormy, Blazing, and Light Adventure Squads.
I think they're Japanese exclusive though.
Yes, it looks like they are.
Yeah.
But it looks like they're on WiiWare, so maybe you can pick them
I
up
never
now.
had that.
Okay.
I never had that.
They might be able to, you might be, I mean, now that the Wii's kind of past its prime, they might be able to be picked up on there. Or,
The Wii
yeah.
the Wii was never in its prime. As sad
I
as that
like
is.
the
It had
Wii.
so much potential, and they were like, "Nope, we're not doing anything with it." Hey.
Oh, come on. Fair enough.
He's got a point, but I liked the Wii.
So did I, so I enjoyed it.
I think the Wii's only good. I only think it had like some good games. Skyward Sword. Hey.
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I prefer
This-
Mario
this
Kart
Switch is better.
64, to be honest.
Each to their own.
I only liked the fact that in Rainbow Road you can take a shortcut
No.
by driving.
Oh no. Oh, what about what is it, Wario's?
Am I the only one that liked Rainbow Road in
Oh,
Mario?
no.
Sorry, in Mario Kart 64.
Rainbow
Wow.
I
Road's
love
awesome.
it. I love all Rainbow Roads.
It's hilarious. People give it like so much crap, and and meanwhile I'm just like, yep, let me drive off the edge and take the whole shortcut.
Yeah.
Let me nearly commit suicide, I'll be right.
Yeah, but it's worth it if
Exactly.
you succeed.
What about the shortcut in, what is it, Wario Land? No, Wario Park, I think it is. Where you... Wario Stadium, that's it. Where you got, like, at the very start, like within the first, 100 meters, you got those humps. And then you can, like, jump
and then you just,
up
like,
over the wall.
Jump past.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. And, like, every time I'm playing it with my sister, she's like... You cheat all the time. You can't win. That's not
What do you
fair.
mean? It's called
Skill.
using your brain.
It's called
skill.
taking advantage of what they give you.
Exactly.
Exactly. Like, if there's a shortcut in life, take it.
Exactly.
The long route.
And I'm just like, well, hey, learn to do it yourself or shut up. So,
It's like going out, walking all the way to a bus stop, taking like a 5-hour trip just to go to like a Macca's, and like this Macca's like a 10-minute walk from your house or something. There's no point.
There's no point.
Exactly.
just take the shortcut. So back to Pokemon Spinner. We also have My Pokemon Ranch, Poke Park Wii Pikachu's Adventure, Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs, Pokemon Ranger Shadows
That
of...
one was... Oh wait, Guardian
Elmia?
Science... I like the Pokemon Ranger ones.
I
Shadows
like the
of
original
Elmia.
Pokemon Ranger.
Yeah, that one was nice and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I didn't like Science as much though. Because it was very in your face.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I never played that one, so
Okay.
I've played the original Ranger and I've played a little bit of Shadows of Almia.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, yeah, it was I remember it was hilarious because the first Pokemon Ranger game, and then Shadows of Almia, I think it was
Yep.
the second one. It's
Yeah.
It slowly eases you into it. So most of it is very like most Pokemon games have a very slow start, so it slowly eases the player into it. It gets them to wonder what's happening in the world. It slowly starts to build the world around them on like what's happening, so you don't get the full picture at the beginning, and it sort of becomes like a puzzle that you have to fill out throughout the whole entire story. Guardian Signs just drops you into an action sequence, right? You ultimately fail. Spoilers of the first 2 minutes, and it just plants you in the world, and and then it just crams this information into you. There's no build up.
No.
It's just done, and that's what I don't like about Guardian Science.
Yeah. Fair enough.
That-
Thanks.
Yeah, look, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Just no.
So as far as Gen 4, I think we've kind of covered everything there, and I think we've killed like 40-ish minutes. Moving on to Gen 5, we've still got, I was going to say 5 more gens, then we've still got 3 more gens to go. So who here has played any of the Gen 5 games, which are Pokemon Black, Pokemon White, and Pokemon Black 2? And Pokemon
played-
White 2.
Black.
I've played Pokemon. I played all 4 technically
Whoa.
because they're not really different.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I only played Pokemon Black
Yep.
on one of my friend's DS, and also on emulator when we were meant to be studying for exams during high school.
Ooh.
And so what?
Nothing.
Naughty.
Anyway,
Yeah, slightly.
I don't look. It was ages ago. All right. Anyway, and basically what happened was, this is the funny part. Since it was emulated, there was actually a huge problem with it, which was none of the Pokemon could get XP.
Ooh, okay.
I never had
Yeah.
that problem when I emulated it.
I don't know. This was like ages ago. Ages
Okay.
ago. I think it was like when it first came out as well.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. My friend was the one that just passed it to me. So I'm like, he
Yeah,
probably screwed something up.
Fair enough.
And so we're like, all right, let's see if we can go the further. And then we realized that our Pokemon could not get any XP. So
Oh, no.
we were just completely demolished by the first few Pokemon trainers.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it was just hilarious. I think I only beat the first guy, and then the second guy who had like a level 8 Rat Papa, I think it was called.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
it's basically the Rattata black and white, and so it was so embarrassing because it was like level 12 or 11, and I was still at level 5, unable to do anything.
Oh no.
And so I just got instantly demolished.
Oh dear. Good job.
no.
Good job.
Good job.
Yep.
Kids, emulators, they don't go well.
No, well, hey, I've had problems with like Ratchet and Clank. This is like a bit off topic, but like it's absolutely horrific because you try and emulate Ratchet and Clank, then it's like he goes all actual Ratchet goes like green, and it looks like he doesn't have skin. And it's like his whole like skull and everything is showing because it's some failure with like the resolution, not the resolution, the I'll just say resolution because I can't think of the other term.
Is it rendering?
Yeah, that's it. Some failure with the rendering, and they've stuffed it up somehow, so it's a bit horrific.
And then Ratchet and Clank turns into a horror game.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank.
But as far as Gen 5 games for me, I think, yeah, I've played Pokemon Black. Just Pokemon Black. I haven't played White or Black 2 or White 2. And I played that, I believe, also on 3DS because of the whole cross platform situation.
Yeah.
And it didn't really stick with me at all. Like, it was just kind of one of those games that you jump into and it's like, it's average kind of thing.
Yeah, I liked the story behind it about particularly N, who can talk to Pokemon and understand them.
Yeah.
That's like the only real bit that stuck with me.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
What I like though is the build-up that has been going throughout all the generations. It finally has, you know, a subplot where where people do enslave Pokemon, and there are trainers that aren't like you, and
Yeah, I remember that.
ends up being
Yeah.
like the cause of a revolution.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
in the end, Team Plasma, right? Wait, it was Team Plasma, right? Or was it Team Galactic? I think it
Team
was
Plasma.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the end, they do win the moral argument, but they're still a-holes.
Yeah, I think I remember that. It's kind of like where, yeah. It's kind of like where I've just got like this screenshot in my mind of like them in like a gym battling some other people, I think it was.
I think yes, that was in the 8th gym, the last gym it was.
Yes, yeah.
I think they were in there. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. So a bit of trivia about Gen 5 before we go any further into it. Along with Generation 3 and Generation 6, Generation 7, Generation 5 is the only generation to not have any evolutions, as in evolutions, which is a bit interesting. Generation 5 has the most amount of Pokemon than any other generation, having 156 in all. This beats even the Generation 1, which introduced the first 151.
Technically 152, actually.
Don't
Mew.
argue with Bulbapedia. No, not
Are
really.
you counting Missing No in that by any chance? Because that
No,
does not
no.
count.
No, because Mew was not actually part of the original 150. Oh wait, you said 151. Never mind, I take that back.
Oh dear. However, the Generation 1 games were supposed to have 190 Pokemon in them, but they never did. They only capped at 151.
What?
Oh.
What were
Yeah.
the other 40?
What do you think I am, a Wikipedia?
Did
I
it go
would've-
extinct? Did it go extinct?
Probably.
Maybe.
Professor Oki had one job.
Yeah.
He failed.
Yeah, slightly. Bit of a big failure.
It's already Pokemon 76, guys. They just don't know it.
Excluding Generation 1, Generation 5 had the smallest amount of released games, which is, I believe, apart from spin-offs, it did have more spin-offs than most of the others, but mainline games it had only 4, I believe.
But Gen 1 also had 4. Gen 2 had 2.
Gen 6,
Gen
that was
3.
Gen 6 was X and Y, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gen 6.
Gen 6 is the one that was the less, because it's only got the 2.
Yeah.
Wait, where's Gen 6? I'm getting there. Gen 6. Okay, we have
Gen 6 had,
Omega Ruby X and Y.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But
There we
Gen
go.
5 but Gen 5 has 4. Gen 6 is also 4.
Yep.
Yeah,
You can't just
technically-
like say it's the least, even though it ties with the rest of like almost the rest of the other generations. You can't just say that's the least.
I think they're saying it's the least as in like Black, White, and Black 2, White 2 are kind of the same, so it's technically like 2 games kind of thing.
yeah, it
Maybe.
technically is, because Gen 1 had 4 games if you count the one that the English, the Western countries didn't get.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I think that's just what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Along with along with Generation 4, this gen has the least amount of Pokemon with a Mega Evolution. So Generation 5 has the least with Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can't remember a Generation 5 Pokemon Mega Evolution, actually.
Okay. Ever since remakes were introduced, this is the first generation where there hasn't been a remake of a previous generation. Interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're like their own standalone games, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It is also the first generation to have a sequel of the first games of the generation. So it's got, so like the Black 2 and White 2 are sequels
already.
of Black and White.
And it was really unique in the fact that it had the link too, so you could put your data from Black into Black 2 and White into White 2. And I think that was the only instance of the games actually having that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Because of the whole, probably would have been because of the whole Nintendo DS swapping over to 3DS kind of thing. It was just before that generation, kind of like generation gap.
Yeah.
Generation 5 is the first generation in which there are no Pokemon that are evolved or per-evolved versions of previous Pokemon. It's interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, Generation 5 introduced the most unique types with 33 in total.
Huh.
Which is quite a lot.
I'll have to Google that later.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Okay, so that's the trivia side of things over. Well, it's not so much trivia, it's more like random facts, I suppose you could say. Okay, so what to each of you set Gen 5 apart from all of the other generations?
I think it was the moral side of it, the fact that it was
more
Team
darker.
Plasma trying to stop trainers from using Pokemon as slaves.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like more of a real aspect
That's
to
pretty
it.
much it, yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
had
pretty
a
much
very real, darker sort of tone to it
Yeah.
than the other games do.
That's kind of reminiscent to the one that I played on, like it's like a fan-made Pokemon game, and I think it's like about a cult. I can't remember what it's called. Joel, you probably know because you put me onto it. What's the one where it's like about a cult? I mean, your Mew is like, I think it's Mew. He's like a goddess or something. And then she guides
there's
you.
a couple. Is it glazed?
Yeah, I think it's glazed.
That one was amazing. Oh, such a good storyline.
Like that Gen 5 kind of reminds me of that kind of element, or as far as like it's more, not that there's sacrifice or anything in it, but you know, it's got more of a realistic element to it. Okay, so how were you first introduced to Gen 5?
So my sister actually got the first game of Gen 5 as a gift from her then boyfriend. That's how I was introduced.
Okay, and you like played it on her DS, or she just gave it to you?
I sort of watched her play, and then
Okay.
I managed to get Black at a later date, and then played it then.
Okay, cool. What about you, Joel?
As I said, we had a competition during high school, and to see who could go the furthest in black and white.
Yep.
And so my friend had an emulator, and he gave it to all of us. And then we unsuccessfully got nowhere.
Yeah. Fair enough, because you had crap. What's it called? Oh,
No XP.
Yeah, no XP.
You had a glitch.
I had a glitch.
Yeah. And what's even funny was my friend's like, "Oh, don't worry, I got I know what to do." And so he went to get a cheat, and then gave, I think it was like 100% XP, bonus XP or something like that. I'm like, that's not gonna work. Because if he has 0 XP, 0 times 100 is still 0!
Oh,
yeah.
No, you're just better off finding a cheat that sets all your levels to 100 and then going that way.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's
You
no
just-
fun.
I know, but you're better off doing that.
And then like getting like a multiplication cheat where it's like 100, and then every like so many levels you just keep putting in that cheat, so then it multiplies it by like 3 or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say would be your favorite Gen 5 Pokemon?
Cincino.
Ah, heck.
Cincino.
Oh, I can't actually remember a lot of the Gen 5 Pokemon because it's one of the generations I didn't play a lot.
Yeah, okay.
But I think it's Virizion would be my favorite. That's the one that comes to mind.
Okay.
Which is the one of the
Sword of
three.
Justice.
Yeah,
wait.
that one. It was one of those ones. Yes.
Okay, what kind of
The grass
moveset
one,
did
right?
it have?
It's a fighting grass.
Yeah, so it was sort
Oh,
of.
yeah. I think I know the one.
So it's like sort of in the same vein as Breloom, but it's like I like the fact that it was faster than the other two
Yep.
There was
because
4
it's
actually.
oh, we're not counting Keldeo. He's just sort of like unique. He's,
Hey, he's a unicorn!
Oh,
Don't
fight.
worry.
No, not quite.
Unicorns have feelings too.
Oh
Even
no.
water fighting unicorns.
yeah, water fighting unicorns.
Okay, but I do understand that not everyone sees it. I mean, like, Gladios does
he-
not look like the rest.
Is he better than Magikarp?
Yes.
Yes.
Despite how much I love Magikarp,
Oh no.
yes.
How can you love Magikarp?
Because
you obviously did not know the old strat for the older games. Basically, Magikarp knew a move called Flail. And so the lower HP Magikarp was,
Yeah.
the more damage Flail would do. And so you do full speed, full damage, and you one-shot stuff.
Oh dear.
Yeah, so if you get your Magikarp down to like 1 HP and then
Oh,
you
no.
flail, you just like decimate everything.
It was hilarious. Pretty much anything with Flail would have done that.
I'm fairly certain I've actually heard of that, like, or even used it, but I didn't know how to use it properly, I think. So I was just like, oh, Magikarp, he's useless, he can just be kind of let go.
Well, I mean,
Well, he
he's
is sort of
useless
useless
now.
until he learns flail.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
Makes
he's
sense.
useless now. I'm pretty sure they nerfed Flail ages ago.
Hmm.
Wow.
What would you say would be your favorite Gen 5 game?
They're all the same.
They're all the same. I would, yeah, kind of, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, they're all the same, so all of them, technically.
Yep, fair enough. Favorite Gen 5 moment?
It's at the start. It's when you get to the first major town
Yeah.
where you actually see Team Plasma deal Pokemon off the residents there. It's that sort of the whole favorite moment because it's like, ooh, this is actually a really moral game.
Hmm. Yeah.
Because they're trying to do the right thing, but they're going around it the wrong way.
Yep. Fair enough. Makes sense. Joe, you're the same, or?
Failing to defeat the first Pokemon trainer that I met because I have
Oh
no
dear.
XP.
Still going on. Okay, cool. Okay, so that's kind of Gen 5 out of the way. Have any of you played any of the Gen 5 spin-offs at all?
Which
Learn with Pokemon Typing Adventure.
hell yeah, that's the best game I ever played.
Oh dear.
I haven't played it before.
I only just saw that until now, and I'm like, what the heck? Pokemon Conquest.
They were actually selling
Pokemon Conquest.
They were
Pokemon
They were
Conquest.
selling one of the copies of Pokemon Type, Learn to
I
Type
see.
in the Warrigal EB games a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very, very shocking to see it because, like, wait, that exists?
What was it? $5?
Oh, probably. I didn't check it.
Oh dear.
But yeah, Pokemon Conquest, yes, definitely, hands down, favorite spin-off. Please make a sequel, for God's sake.
Pokemon
We need
Conquest
a sequel
2.
with more Pokemon, more strats, more like gameplay and stuff. And like, yeah, it's just a good game. I want a sequel. It was promised 6 years ago,
And
so
never
I want a
delivered.
sequel.
Hey, well maybe that. No. I mean, it could be that new, but then that'd be like 3DS. I doubt it. They might do it in this next gen for
the
Switch, maybe. Yeah.
For the Switch.
They might do it for the Switch.
Hmm.
Please, Lord
Nintendo.
Arceus.
If you're
Wish.
listening, do it.
Nintendo, you have something to do. Do it.
Pokemon Conquest already said that. Pokedex 3D.
I had that. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never heard of
it never really got updated, and we all like really wanted it to be updated, but actually like it gave us like 3D models, like really cool 3D models of the Pokemon, and it even pronounced them, which kind of screwed up a lot of pronunciations that I had been making, and I'm not going to repeat any of them.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah, but there was also a pro version which had
Yes.
a few more aspects to it, and I actually had the pro version, and we were all really disappointed when it never got updated.
Okay.
They should have updated it because it was awesome.
Yeah, okay. Maybe they'll make a new one. I mean,
Maybe.
with the whole like Pokemon Go situation and everything, they might be able to port something like that to phone.
Yeah,
You never know.
I mean, yeah, I think they did have a port of it to phone, but it sort of met the same fate as the 3DS version.
Yeah, okay. Pokedex 3D Pro, Pokemon Dream Radar.
I never played that, but my sister, she first got Pokemon White,
Okay.
played that a lot.
Cool. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity.
Wait, what?
Gates to
How come I
Infinity.
haven't heard of this?
That was the one with all the Magna Gates, and I never played it, but I did a little bit of research on it. Never had it though.
And it was on 3DS.
I never knew it existed, so
Better go and play it.
Yeah.
maybe.
I think I've found.
Maybe.
I think I've found your favorite game, Joel. Pokemon Bank. Come on.
What?
Pokemon Bank.
Wait, what's this? What's it about?
No
Okay,
idea.
so what Pokemon Bank is about is that you could take the Pokemon from your games, put them into the cloud, and then you'd be able to transfer them from the cloud to any new games that came out. So you could have your, for example, Black 2, White 2 team in X and Y.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what it does.
That's actually
Yeah.
a great game. Well, great idea.
Yeah, and you did have to pay an annual subscription. It wasn't that expensive, and every so often they did promotions. So if you
Yeah.
access Pokemon game between such and such dates, you would get a mythical Pokemon. Like I remember I got Celebi once. There was Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. There was evolved forms of the Gen 5 starters.
Yep.
It was all pretty cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
As you can tell, I have used it plenty of times.
Yes. Pokemon Battle Wait, what? Trozy?
Troze,
Troze,
yes.
Troze.
Another. It's that's more like So have you ever heard of Pokemon Shuffle, which is
Yeah, yep.
it's into that. It's like the first one of that.
Okay. Yeah, that was
Yeah, it had-
yeah.
It had a very unique story that I can remember. Very, very unique story.
Okay. What about Pokemon Art Academy?
No.
Learn to
Never
draw a
had
Pokemon.
Where
Why
are you
not?
pulling these names from? What
Where's
the hell?
Wikipedia?
Why are there so many Pokemon games?
The Band of Thieves are 1,000 Pokemon and 1,000 Pokemon. That's a Japanese
I've
spin-off, I
never-
believe.
Okay, so I've never heard of that one.
Okay. Yeah, it looks Japanese. And
It probably is.
yeah. And of course, Pokepark 2, Beyond the World.
Never had it.
I actually played that, funnily enough.
Really?
And it was a bit boring,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
Bit of a letdown, but anyway. Yeah, like yeah, it wasn't it was for the Wii, and it was like it's kind of like Pokemon Quest now, the one that's on phone,
Okay.
where you've just got to run around and battle Pokemon, and then
sounds
like
garbage.
turn them into your friends, and then sounds like a normal Pokemon game to me. And yeah, but like it wasn't anything too special, to be honest. So, okay, Gen 6, which
Oh,
consists
yes!
of. Okay, I hope you got some talking to do about this
Mega
one.
Evolution!
Pokemon X, Pokemon Y, Pokemon Omega Ruby, and what the heck's other
Alpha
one?
Sapphire.
Alpha Sapphire. That's it. I don't have a name for it. So, have either of you played any of these games?
Nope.
All four.
Joe, you were really excited, and then it's like, nope.
Just for Mega Evolution.
Oh, okay, fine. Chelsea, all four. You're the genius in this category. What caught your attention about them?
Okay, so when X and Y came out, it was actually the sort of previews, like the 3D Pokemon sort of aspect that really attracted me to X and Y, and the whole Tree of Life thing with Xerneas and the winged death with Yveltal. That was really, really awesome. And then there was the main Pokemon villains in that game. They had
Yep.
the best fashion sense, or the worst, depending on how you look at it.
Fair enough.
But
Why
what
can't
really
it be
attracted
both?
it can be both. What really attracted me to the generation was the remake of my first ever Pokemon game, Alpha Sapphire, and
Ah,
I
yeah,
basically
okay.
bought that on release because there was no way I was missing out on.
Alpha Sapphire. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I did actually play Omega Ruby. I fully forgot about that and played that on 3DS because it did come out for 3DS.
Yes. Yeah.
I actually
Oh,
quite
for
enjoyed
3DS.
it.
It's really good. It's like it's a remake that didn't detract from the original game,
Yep.
but it sort of made it all of its own, which is
Yeah,
spectacular.
It set it apart from its like offspring, I suppose you could say. And the whole 3D element as well was kind of what attracted me to it. Because it's like a completely different kind of Pokemon adventure where it's like obviously in 3D and everything, which is awesome. And I would say like that's probably one of the solidest Pokemon games that I've ever played, I would say. Just because of like the whole, I don't know, it just felt more put together. Like it felt more, like the gameplay was a lot more solid, and it had,
Yeah.
to me, it had a better story than all of the others as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
it did, because I think the Hoenn generation
Yeah.
is just a really, really solid generation.
Also, obviously, it had introduced Mega Evolutions.
Yep.
And fairy types.
And
Yes.
yes, obviously the whole 3D
And-
movement situation.
Get nerfed to dragon types.
And fairy types are just great. Like I still don't know what their super effective, like is super effective against them. I'm still learning that. But
Okay.
Oh, steel.
yeah, steel. Well, that explains a
I believe it
lot.
was steel, poison, and dark, if I remember correctly.
I don't think dark was one of them.
Wait,
Because
fairy
I've-
type.
I've tried to fight fairy types with dark type Pokemon, and it
No,
just
it's
did not
poison
go.
and steel. It's just
Okay.
poison and steel.
There you
That
go.
makes sense.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, but
Indeed.
just So I've actually forgot. Some of my more favorite Pokemons, like God of War, got the fairy update. So
Yep.
God of War with Moonblast. Oh,
That killer.
beautiful.
That could decimate you.
Yeah.
I love it. I just love it so much.
Yeah, if you like
Don't
with
forget the,
especially with the Elite Four.
Yeah,
Gosh.
yeah.
Don't forget as well the Mega Mawile. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
The
Yes.
introduction of Mega Mawile, Fairy type Steel, with huge power, which just oh my god.
It's basically
I love
like
this generation.
it's basically like eliminated its own weaknesses because it's a fairy type steel type, and steel doesn't go so well against other steel types, and poison doesn't really affect steel types either, so it's like sort of just reversed its own weakness,
Okay.
which was great.
Gen 6 was also the first game first generation to introduce 72 new Pokemon, thus expanding the Pokedex to a total of 721 Pokemon altogether.
Yes.
The national Pokedex now ends with Volcanion.
Hang on. Wait, no, I think
it's the water fire Pokemon, if I remember correctly.
Water fire Pokemon.
This
It's
was
just
written a
turtle,
couple of
but
days
instead
ago.
of a shell, it's a little ring, which
Ooh.
lions can jump through in some sort of circus or something like that.
Okay.
It's a very weird Pokemon design.
Good to know.
But it's awesome because like it's fire water type, which I've never seen another Pokemon with that
I know,
combination.
that's what makes it awesome. I'm just saying the design looks very weird.
It does.
It's a turtle with a ring, but the idea of it is very nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, Gen 6 was the first to introduce not introduce, but has 7 new legendary Pokemon of its own, including, excuse my pronunciation because I have no idea, Xerneas, is that right?
Xerneas.
Xerneas?
Wait,
Yveltal.
Yveltal,
is that
yep.
the deer?
Yeah, I believe
Yeah,
so.
that's the deer. Yep.
Yveltal.
Oh my god, that deer is
there's-
so ridiculous.
I like it.
Dou-
Thank you very much.
In doubles battle, I hate whoever uses it in doubles battle because it just you can't do anything at all. It's just ridiculous.
Then there's Zygarde, which was it's sort of their trilogy, their trio master in a way, while still being part of their trio. Ground Dragon type, I believe that one was. I do not remember what the other ones were.
Diancie?
Diancie, yep,
Diancie.
the fairy
Ooh,
rock type.
I remember the NC. That
Yeah.
one was nice.
Yep.
Zygarde?
There was, yep,
And,
there was Volcanion,
yeah, and Hooper.
Hooper. That
Oh,
sort of always slipped my mind because it's just I never really think about it. It's weird.
Hooper is so annoying.
Oh dear. Why is it so annoying?
Now that I remember it, one of the okay, so the strategy with Hoopa, or not strat per se, but one of the abilities of Hoopa is that it steals the opponent's items.
Yep.
So you can most of the time you can screw them over. I remember the first time I never used Hoopa again, but so would be the only time. The only time I used Hoopa was against my friend, and he at the time had what Pokemon was it? Sigilyph, that was it.
Okay.
That was the strategy where Sigilyph had item that burnt itself, but then Sigilyph had a passive where it would put that status effect on the enemy. So what happened was I ended up stealing that, and so Hooper was just useless because I would just keep damaging myself every single time. And so after that I'm like, yep, I'm never using Hooper again because it was too RNG. Because you had to know like what item the opponent has and which one to steal. So yeah.
Which was always really hard, especially like if you've got to use mainly Bulbapedia and Cerebi.net to sort of figure out which trainers have which items, because if you get the wrong item, well, then you're screwed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, makes sense.
competitive is a bit different though, because it's like a small set of what items are actually. I think there's only like 10 that are pretty much used.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing outside those 10, even though there's like hundreds, I think. But yeah.
So another kind of random fact for you. Chronologically, X, Y, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire take place in a different timeline due to Mega Evolution existing in these games.
Yes, it sort of diverges somewhere. Where?
Yeah, okay.
Wait, why make it another timeline if you can just say it's in the future? And then in the remake just like change the characters.
In the future, on Earth 617. Going off Marvel there.
Like, could they not have done that? Could they not have done that? Like, just make it one time.
I think it's-
Nintendo's
I
just
think-
splitting the timelines. First Zelda and now it's like.
Look, I'm pretty sure they've done that for Zelda, and I'm pretty sure they've already done that for Star Fox because, like,
Yes.
with yeah, look. So why not Pokemon as well? Because Pokemon sort of makes sense because of for Sapphire and Omega Ruby, they have the same protagonists as they do in Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Wow.
And they've kind of done it with
Why?
Mario as well, because Mario Odyssey takes
Come
place
on,
in.
they changed things up with Fire Red and Leaf Green. Why couldn't they change it with Alpha?
I'm pretty sure Fire Red and Leaf Green like fit into the same one. The X, Y, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire ones. They're remakes too. What about
True.
Soul Silver?
True, you make a valid point,
Look
but
at
I'm
this.
gonna ignore it. But yeah,
Gonna ignore it.
Fair enough. Each to their own. So, as far as I'm not going to read all these out because there's like 50 of them, but there's like about 50-ish mega versions in
Mega versions.
crikey, mega evolutions in Generation 6.
And if you read all of their Pokédex entries, apparently Mega Evolution is excruciatingly painful. Yeah, look,
What?
it's dark. Like, you don't
Oh my
realize how
God.
dark it is until you actually read the Pokédex entries,
I would
and then
agree
you're
with
like,
that.
"What?"
yeah, that's so true.
So
Like, there's
proceed.
I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of Pokemon that are really dark as well.
Yeah, Hypno is one of them. Drifloon is one of them. It tries to steal small children.
What?
Yamask is another one.
It still does
has-
Your mask. Oh dear.
Yeah, it carries its formerly human face as a mask and cries over it.
Oh my goodness.
It's really dark.
Okay then. I still reckon Drowned is the worst Pokemon ever. Like, you know.
You're not going to forget that, are you?
No.
Jesus Christ.
So obviously Gen 6 is the first generation to feature to feature remakes in 3D. Generation 6 introduced the least Pokemon with only 72, legendary Pokemon with only 3, moves with only 62, and abilities with only 27. So it's the least in all of those categories.
They sort of flagged there. They were like, "Oh, what do we do for this? Yeah, this'll do."
We'd better introduce someone who cries over their own face. We're getting desperate. Along with Generation 5, it also has the least amount of Pokemon with a Mega Evolution at 1, which is ironic as this generation brought Mega Evolution.
I don't even remember what that is.
Least amount of Pokemon with a Mega Evolution.
It's not Ordino. That was last generation.
Oh, like a brand new Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like a brand
I don't
new
know.
Mega.
I don't know what it is.
Not sure. I don't have that fact in front of me. Generation 6 is the only generation that does not have a gym leader or Elite Four member specializing in ghost Pokemon, a new type of Pokeball, a department store, a trio of legendary Pokemon that aren't version mascot Pokemon, and a third version or sequel to the first game of the generation.
All of those are true.
And also a new pure electric type Pokemon, an appearance by red or blue, a new dragon type move, a new move for every type that existed at this time, and a pseudo legendary with 2 types. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Makes sense. Okay, so Gen 7. What's so special about Gen 7?
Alolan Pokemon. I've still yet to actually wrap my head around it.
And Ultra Beasts.
Ooh.
It like Pokemon from different universe, like sort of alternate different reality. They're not Pokemon, but they are Pokemon.
Okay.
What?
Ultra Beast.
Sorry, what?
Okay, so with the Ultra Beast, there's if you don't already know, the Ultra Beasts are sort of Pokemon from a different dimension that they're not technically classified as Pokemon, but they register in the Pokédex.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that's interesting.
that's so cool.
And one of the most notable ones that I remember is there's Nihiligo, which is it sort of looks like a jellyfish crossed with the little girl. There's one that kind of a clown and blows its own head up, and there's one that
I
looks...
only know from Katana. I just searched them out. I only know Katana.
Oh no.
Yeah. There's also Zerkatree, which kind of looks like an electric tree made of cables.
Yep.
And
Because why
there
not?
is also the one
How
that's
does that look like
just
a
made
tree?
of bricks. It sort of does. But there's
Wait, I
also
gotta
one
see
that's
this.
made out of bricks.
It looks like bloody
And-
Slender Man.
And all the bricks have eyes.
Oh my goodness! What is this? A horror game? Or is it a
It
kids
looks
game?
like Slender Man. What do you mean he looks like a tree?
Oh, okay.
Well,
Enough of nightmares.
well, was Pokemon not the stuff of nightmares if you look too deep into it?
Yeah, I knew it was dark and disturbing, but they're not scary looking. Except for Mr.
one-
Mind. That thing will haunt you for the rest of your life.
In this generation especially, Nihiligo, the jellyfish one, kind of possesses the main antagonist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's and then like it changes all of her Pokemon to be like really aggressive, and
Yeah.
their little models, they have like little face, but when you're battling her when she's possessed, they have little angry faces.
Little angry emojis. Why not?
Yeah, little angry faces.
So Gen 7 introduces a brand new villain, which is obviously Team Skull. In the
Yep.
Alola region that steal rare Pokemon and work with Ether Foundation at one point in the game. Luzamine? Lusamine. The Ether Foundation's president is the main villain for this region. There are 4 main islands in Alola, each with its own guardian deity.
The Tapus, I think. Yes.
Okay.
So there's Tapu Lele, Tapu Koko, Tapu Bulu, and I can't remember the other one. I can't remember the last one.
Okay. Interesting. Gee, this sounds so familiar, but I think I've played something else, some other Pokemon game. I've never played any of these. I've never played Sun
Wait,
or Moon.
which ones have you said so far? Coco,
I've
Lily, Bulu,
Coco,
and
Lily, Bulu, and yeah, the other one.
Finny.
Finny, yes. The fish
Okay.
one.
That does not look like a fish.
Does anything
well,
look
it's water
like
type.
anything?
That's how it's fish.
Yeah, it's a water type, definitely, but I never knew fish had clams for like the rest of its body, so oh, these actually look pretty interesting. Okay.
They're really interesting.
A history lesson on Pokemon, everybody.
I'm just going through the abilities right now.
Cool.
Of course you are.
New power. So also in Gen 7, Z moves are the new kind of power Pokemon can have. Only a few Pokemon are known to have exclusive Z moves.
Yes. So Eevee is one of the ones that has an exclusive Z move. There's Pikachu as well. The starters, I think the Kanto starters have a specific Z move as well.
Okay.
They're the only ones I know.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a rare power for only a few Pokemon. It also introduces a brand new Pokedex, which is extremely rare, even rare in Alola. Rotom Dex can help with tasks, and it even has its own personality.
It talks to you. It's weird.
Yeah, and Joel, you are echoing.
So am I.
Oh,
We
sick.
all are.
Yeah, I think it's coming out of his end though.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I just unplugged and replugged my headphones set.
Okay.
Yeah, that's better. Go on.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Gen 7, the final generation in the Pokemon series so far. What do you think sets this generation apart from the other generations?
It's sort of.
Oh, sorry, you go first.
No, you go first.
Oh, I just like the fact that they go back some of the original Pokemon and they change the types. It makes it seem like, because you know how evolution looks in real life, that the surroundings and the habitat determines what outcome of species, like what the species adapts to. And so the fact that in the lowland region, Ninetales is ice is so cool. Pun intended, but yeah. But I'm still trying to get a Alolan Ninetales to work in the team, but I think Alolan Ninetales is terrible and competitive, but I'm trying to see if I can get it working. And but yeah, I just love that. It's actually so cool. God damn it, I made the pun again. So yeah, I just think it's an amazing idea that they changed, that they swapped the types around and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, so... Wait, where am I? So favourite Pokemon of the generation. I've got so many questions in front of me, it's crazy.
I'd have to go. Oh no, hang on, wait. That's
Screamy Tree.
tree. I would have to choose. Oh gosh, it's been a while since I've actually played them. So, I don't even remember what my starter was in that game. That's how bad it is. I'm gonna have to pass on this one because I don't actually know which my favorite Pokemon from that generation is.
All good. I don't have one either. What about you, Joel?
Just because it's so interesting. Mimikyu.
Oh, that creepy little. There's. I have a vengeance against that little thing.
What does it do?
I think. Oh, so it's basically a ghost type, and if you see under its little cloak thing that it wears, the Pikachu mimic thing that it wears, it'll kill you.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. And I met one. There's one in the game where you can walk up to it and you can talk to it, and it says "me kill you."
Oh dear.
Like it actually says "me kill you" in the game, and it's like, nah, I'm out. Bye. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a good life.
Have a good life. I am never coming back to this house.
Oh dear. Oh dear. That sounds like
but
even more stuff in
the reason why is because it opens up a lot of potential with strategy. The passive ability, it takes 0 damage the first time it is attacked in battle.
Yes.
And
Okay.
you can
Because of
set up
its-
so much with that. Like you go sword dance, something like that, or with shadow sneak because it's a ghost type, so it probably has shadow sneak. And
Yeah. Okay.
so you could just abuse it. Oh, it's such an interesting concept. It has so much potential.
Mash that move. Why not? But that's pretty cool. Like like when you first get attacked, you don't get damage. It's awesome.
Yeah, because its little costume thing. It's got this head and it sort of sticks up. But then when you first attack it, its head falls over because it's not the actual Pokemon. You've just attacked the costume.
Yep.
And it kind of looks really sad when that happens. It just looks really sad.
Oh dear. What are they gonna think of next? I mean, like they've got an electric tree that looks like Slender Man. They've got a I kill you beast.
Have drowned.
They have a clown that blows up its own head. So
I
wish I was kidding.
They could have like a jet one. I don't know. I was trying to think. It's a suicide bomber.
Suicide bomber.
No.
Oh my god.
Too far, man.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
But if they make it, they'll make a Transformer Pokemon or something like
Yeah,
that.
that'd be cool.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me.
Autobots, move out. Roll out. Close enough.
Why not?
You screwed that up.
I
Disappointment.
know. I'm sorry. I disappoint everyone.
Oh dear. Have you ever caught them all in any game ever?
No.
Oh
Nope.
dear.
I focus. I'm pretty sure I stated this that I'm not much of a collector. What I do is that I always have a strict set team that I want to. Like, okay, so I change my team every single play sets in game, and I only stick with that team.
Yeah.
So I always have 2 tanks: special defense tank, physical tank, physical sweeper, special sweeper, a wall breaker, which is basically they're tanky and they do damage.
I think you play too much League of Legends.
What?
Yeah.
It's like,
This is
what?
Pokemon. This is a Pokemon strat. This has nothing to do with League of Legends. League of Legends
Isn't it?
does-
Isn't it really?
No, it's much different. Trust me. And
Mhm.
and then maybe potentially a support or a second wall breaker, or like I said, a second physical sweeper, because you know, aggression is key.
Fair enough.
So yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, like, I'm kind of someone who, if I start reading a magazine or something, I've got to read it from front to back. So I'm kind of someone who's got to, like, when you go to the first area, you got to catch every Pokemon in that area, then you move to the next area, and so on and so forth. And then I get so kind of overwhelmed with it, I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered anymore.
Yeah, I
kinda
just
give
sort
up.
of like to move through the game at a nice pace. Like if I catch all the Pokemon in the area,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like move through the thing at a nice pace. So I'm sort of like in between. I do like to fill up my Pokédex as much as I can though.
Okay. I think I mainly do it because I don't really know, like, because I'm not that experienced with Pokemon. I kind of just try and catch them all, so then I've got every Pokemon to cover my back, kind of thing. So then, like, if I go into an area, I'm not like, oh, gee, I've missed a Pokemon that I need to proceed in this area, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not a massive deal breaker to me. So what is your favorite Pokemon to fight with? Ever?
Umbreon.
Umbreon?
Umbreon.
Oh,
Yep,
Umbreon is such a good special defense tank. Umbreon was actually my special defense tank before Melodic.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh. Interesting.
But yeah, it has Wish, which heals itself, Healing Bell, which clears status effects, Baton Pass, that sort of thing is actually nice. Oh, and Play Rough and Knock Off. Oh, sorry, not Play Rough, Foul Play.
Foul play.
Foul play. Yeah.
Yeah, which is basically you don't need to use your attack strat. You use the opponent's attack stat to damage him. So yeah, it's such a nice move.
Especially when you're like battling a really strong Pokemon, you're just like, haha,
Haha,
Yeah.
fooled you!
fooled you again.
What would you say is your most hated Pokemon?
Trubbish.
Truppish.
Trubbish,
Oh,
why
Trubbish.
Trubbish and Garbodor? Who in the thought of a Pokemon that's a literal trash bag?
Oh dear. I have never actually seen this.
Just don't. Just no.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably go with that one as well.
Yeah. Ugh.
What about you,
It's
Joe?
just horrible.
I hate two Pokemon equally for different reasons. The first one, I hate Mr. Mime because as a child he actually did give me nightmares. Like, that thing is creepy and
It
should
is.
not be. It is creepy as hell, and
Oh.
you
I
know
shouldn't
it.
I shouldn't be laughing at you, but I am.
Well, hey.
And this one is more competitive. Where I hate it when people use Aegis Slash because he takes no skill whatsoever. But I absolutely love it when I use Aegis Slash. So it's a love-hate relationship.
Right. That's like a bit, I don't know, a bit double standards, buddy.
Yeah, counterproductive there.
That's slightly
I believe the word is hypocritical.
hypocritical, yeah.
But I regret nothing.
Fair enough. Do you think Pokemon game developers should experiment with other genres, and if so, how and what genre?
Yes, they should experiment more with Pokemon Conquest as a sequel. So, yeah.
I think they should experiment with the horror genre because
Oh dear.
that would
They're
be
building
really really
towards
cool.
it. They're definitely building towards it.
Yeah, definitely. Like with all the Pokédex entries, and then you've got really creepy locations like Lavender, the first generation,
Yeah.
and then like all the graveyards. Like there's just this. Yeah, look, that could work really really well.
Yeah, Pokemon's just such a it's such a good series. I think that it's open up to almost every single genre that I can think of. It could be a platformer, it could be a MOBA. I would love to see a Pokemon MOBA.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. Or a Pokemon MMORPG.
And then Pokemon 76.
Pokemon 76. Definitely.
Pokemon 76.
Pokemon 76.
Definitely.
Do it,
Open
Game
world
Freak.
survival, that sort of thing.
Do it.
Like, and then Pokemon, Skyrim edition, and
That's
and there's Pokemon City Simulator, which is pretty much the same, but then it's just Pokemon, and then you got Pokemon Warfare.
Pokemon Very Special Edition for Alexa.
God damn it, Todd Howard.
Yeah, I know, right? That was hilarious. That was so funny.
I was gonna joke about Pokemon Ace Attorney, but then there's Detective Pikachu already.
True.
The movie of that has been like it's actually got artwork of the time and everything, and it's pretty good. I'm looking forward to it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Fair enough.
I kind of want to go see it.
Okay, so because we're running a tad late, we're at about the hour 45 area, which is not too bad. We'll move into listener questions or reader mail. What is the most underrated Pokemon generation? Asked by Ethan Braun via Discord.
I would.
Two, hands
Yeah,
down.
I'd have to say 2 as well.
2?
It deserves so much more. It was a beautiful masterpiece. It was a perfect sequel, and I think it's just underrated as it is right now.
It deserves a lot more love than it actually gets.
Yeah?
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Why would you say that?
It just had one of the most phenomenal storylines that I've ever heard about in a Pokemon game. Like, I know Heart and Soul tried to replicate that, and that's where I know it from, but the original is always going to be the best.
Yeah, Gold and Silver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Okay, fair enough. Would you like to see kind of them do kind of a spin-off from it more so, like a mainline spin-off, or would you just like to see like a remake, like a better remake for Switch or something?
Maybe a better remake.
Maybe a better remake, yeah.
Okay. So not like a completely different direction for Gen 2 or whatever. I suppose because Gen
Yeah.
2's old, you can't really change it now. It's a bit late for that. So,
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which Pokemon would you like for a household pet and why? Asked by David, the dude
Cinccino.
who usually hosts it.
Cinccino. no! Sensei, no!
Yeah.
I'd have to go with either Growlithe or Arcanine, which isn't something I normally choose, but
Dog.
look,
It's a
it's cute. It's a puppy, and then like when it grows
Arcanine is
big
fluffy.
and evolves, it can like protect your house, and you really wouldn't want to mess with that.
Fair enough.
Cincino can protect my house any day. It'll just rock blast anything off the face of the
Yeah,
earth.
but you can get Rock Blast with other Pokemon, so it's got to be like
What
a
I-
Yeah,
unique.
I know, but do they look adorable while doing it?
Oh dear.
Hey?
No.
Oh, and
What
do they
I
have
would be-
skill link? Oh. What do you say to that, Anthony?
Geodude all the way. No, not really.
Geodude
What I'd
doesn't
be
have
worried
skill link,
about
though.
with Arcanine is setting my house on fire. I wouldn't want that.
Sure.
I don't want that.
So, yeah. The worst thing that I can think of is actually no, Cincino wouldn't do anything. Adorable.
It might sweep your floors for you because it likes to be clean.
That's not a bad thing.
I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Saves you having to clean it.
Precisely, it's
Oh,
even
it's
cleaner
just-
and everything.
yeah.
I mean, you could use like Pikachu or
Oh,
something for
actually,
like
and-
renewable energy.
Eevee's a contender as well. Eevee's a contender.
Oh dear.
Yes. Eevee, yeah.
Why Eevee?
Because it's cute.
Terrible.
Oh, well, it can't just be because it's cute. It's got to have a real world application.
It's like a cat.
What's the point of having
It's
a
cute.
pet if you don't find it adorable? The pets
True.
are adorable.
True.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
So
giant ass dogs, but even then they act adorable.
yeah, so Eevee being cute is a perfect reason.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Hey dear. I mean, you could use like an electric Pokemon and have it as like a renewable energy source. That way you've got no power bills.
That
That's
sounds
called
almost
slavery.
cruel. That
Yeah,
sounds
well,
almost cruel.
I only thought of that after I actually said what I said, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of slavery. So, eh.
Anthony, a Christian family.
But hey, come on! It's like a electric Pokemon. It automatically emits electricity. So if it
Hey
agreed
guys,
to it,
in
then
today's podcast, we're talking about how when you get a pet Pokemon, you make sure that you abuse them and that they use electricity. They are the
Dear.
source of energy.
I mean,
A
in the
family
Pokemon anime,
picture.
so okay.
in
So
the
what's
Pokemon anime, it's
Yeah.
just they use Pikachu for electricity anyway. Like they had the Pikachu in these generator things in the series. So
yeah, true.
Yeah, that's
so-
true. But
What?
that
Okay.
means you probably need more than one Pikachu, and it was backup power, wasn't it?
Nah,
yeah, it
it's-
was backup power.
Oh yeah, true.
It was
Yeah.
used as backup power.
Yeah, so it's not total slavery.
But what? Okay,
No.
tell me this. What is the difference between using like a Pikachu for electricity or having a cow that's going to be eaten?
Well, they're both
Hmm.
cruel.
Answer that.
Yeah, but Anthony, I want you to tell me something. Alright, answer this.
Yeah,
Which is more adorable, Pikachu or cow?
Cow.
cow.
What the hell? You guys are so weird. What the hell?
I grew up on a farm.
So did I.
Of
So.
course, I'm gonna think cows are adorable.
You grew up with Pokemon as well.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with the cow.
Oh my god.
Hey
But
dear.
yeah, you see the difference between that is that cows are necessity to well, stuff,
Not really.
food. Yeah, it is. It's food.
Yeah,
That's
but
It's
you
not
can,
necessary.
It's not a
It's not
necessity.
necessarily. It's not necessarily a necessity for food. I mean, you can just
I suppose
stop
that's
eating
true,
red
yeah,
meat,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
and you can just stop drinking milk.
And stop eating meat in general because, you know, like if you stop eating cows, then you got to stop eating chooks and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
Nah, I
but no
still
one,
eat chicken.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
but Guys, no one would want to eat a Pikachu. Why would anyone want to eat a Pikachu?
I'm not.
Well, if you
Let's see.
if you read into like the Sinnoh lore in Canalave City in the library, they apparently talk about like eating Magikarp and picking them clean. So
Oh, that's horrible. Why? Oh.
so who's to say they can't do that for other Pokemon to get Pokemon meat,
But-
which is traumatic to think about.
What's
They probably do, honestly, because like if you think about it, milk tanks are cows pretty much, and they are used in the So
What's the
Meal
difference?
tanks almost put me off Pokemon.
What's the difference between eating a Magikarp or a normal fish?
Nothing. They're both fish.
Precisely. So I mean, it's
Because in the
yeah.
in the Pokemon world, you wouldn't know the difference because there doesn't seem to be any real animal Pokemon world. So to
Yeah,
them,
true.
Pokemon would be our real animals.
Yeah,
true.
true.
It's just
So
like
this-
how they. It's just like how like in the Pokemon games they have roads but no cars. Dun dun dun. Sorry.
Well, yeah. What about yeah? Well, they don't technically have any machinery at all. Like no jets, no nothing.
They have rockets and they have
They have
the
planes.
occasional moving truck, but that's all I've seen.
They have planes. They have ships.
Okay,
Yeah, but-
interesting.
They don't really seem to have cars.
Yeah, it's
I
just
mean, I
cars.
suppose when you've got-
that was the joke. That was the joke. It's pretty much known already that they have roads like in Pokemon game, like in the
Yeah.
city, but there's just no cars.
I
I
suppose.
suppose when you've got Pokemon, don't need them.
Well, also, if you think about it like this, it's Pokemon's supposed to be
Casually
like
drives
a.
up on your Arcanine.
Yeah.
Drive up with an Arcanine.
It's supposed to be like a kids game, so you wouldn't really want to be teaching kids how to run into traffic and everything.
True.
Yeah, but if you're gonna create roads, right? Something specifically designed for vehicles of like any sort, and not put
Yeah.
anything on there, what is the point?
True.
I mean, I suppose Pokemon teaches you to go up and talk to strangers.
True.
Go to other people's houses.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
Starting
just
to go
walk
into
in,
people's-
just walk into people's houses. Like, hey, I'm rifling. Ken, oh, there's a great ball. Bye.
And also, don't forget to leave your house at the age of 10 to go on an adventure by yourself.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
Yeah, your parents just like kick you out of your house. It's like, all right, you're 10 now. Go out
Bye.
and get killed by mythical creatures.
Alright, you're 10 now. Go and get kidnapped by the kidnapping Pokemon.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, talk about like killing. If you look at the Pokédex, like not only is it dark, but a lot of the Pokemon, can easily kill you, and they normally do. Like for crying out loud, I don't know if they changed this, but Metagross, right? Metagross turns prey into I think like Master Balls or something like that.
Oh.
Oh, but there's also like interesting things about the Pokemon because with Pokemon they actually sort of domesticated themselves.
Yeah.
So they sort of came up, they saw the humans, and they're like, we have to protect
Oh.
them. So they did that. They actually like tried to make friends with humans, not the other way around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Interesting.
we're like, hey, let's be friends. You're
Yeah,
like,
let's be friends because we can protect you because you don't have the powers that we sort of do or any of the like the claws, the shell that
Hmm.
protect you. Just
okay.
feed us, love us,
Yeah.
be our friend.
Yeah.
And in return, they became slaves. Nice.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this discussion. As far as before it gets too out of hand. So the next episode of the Retro Rumble podcast is going to be about video game movies. We don't have anybody lined up for that yet. Going to be discussing the new Sonic movie that's coming out, the Super Mario
Dear
movie,
Lord.
all that fun,
Dear Lord.
awesome stuff. So that'll be a cringe fest that you can look forward to. That will obviously be happening next Sunday, next Sunday for US viewers or for English viewers, US viewers at 9 PM British Standard Time, which is about 1 PM Pacific Standard Time? I think it's 12 PM Pacific Standard Time, something like that. That will obviously be happening on twitch.tv/Culture of Gaming. If you're here now, then this will be where it is. And then we'll be chucking that up on YouTube, SoundCloud, and all that fun stuff. Joel, where can the lovely viewers find you?
You can find me obviously on the website, and I do write stories. I haven't updated in a while on fanfiction.net, archive of our own, Deviant Art, Wattpad under the name HK Glenstead. That is capital H, capital K, capital G, LENSTID. So
Awesome.
if you have time, go check it out. And since Taylor's here, not here, I just want to point out there is no M-rated fiction or smut. Just want to point that out. All
Oh
lemons.
dear. Oh dear. Okay, Chelsea, where can people find you at?
So you can find me on Discord, obviously. You can find me on Wattpad, on fanfiction.net as well. Because I also write, you can Tumblr under the name Sai the Super Saiyan. You can find me on Twitter under the name Chelsea. I do not remember my Twitter handle because I it, but that's okay.
No worries.
Whatever. It should be linked somewhere. I don't know where it is, but just be warned, on my Tumblr there is adult content because I do write a lot of smut and fan fiction like that, so it's fine.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, good to know.
good to know.
Don't go perusing there.
Fair enough. Okay, so obviously you can check out the Retro Rumble podcast on Twitter, which is at Retro Rumble Pod. You can jump on over to our community Discord, which is down below. Click on the button. Otherwise, you can head over to the website, which is cultureofgaming.com, and it's a big, massive, great big button on the right-hand side on the sidebar. Click on that, and it'll take you straight to our community Discord. In there, you don't have to, but you can ask us questions for our Power Up podcast, which happens every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. For this podcast, obviously, or just in general chat to the writers or the dudes who do the podcast, me included. And like we have giveaways and whatnot on there monthly. And yes, as far as the other social media places that you can find this podcast, you can check it out on Facebook, which is at Retro Rumble Podcast. Or facebook.com/Retro Rumble Podcast. On Instagram at Retro Rumble Podcast as well, where David, the dude who usually is guesting on this, posts a lot of retro content and about his collections and all his antics on there. Obviously, you can send in your questions on our Discord, on our Twitter, on our Facebook. Anywhere that we have a community presence or a channel, you can do so. As far as content upcoming, do you guys have anything coming out that you're wanting to pitch at all?
Nope.
Not particularly.
No reviews,
Nope.
no articles, nothing like that?
Oh, right. Warframe article.
Warframe review. Yeah, correct. What's that about?
Yeah. It's the new Warframe. It's been out for a week now, Revenant.
Yep.
And it's basically how my opinions about it, which is spoilers pretty much. It's broken. Very broken.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
That one was announced at E3, I believe. They did a massive pitch at the PC game show. And it looked awesome there, but apparently it's crap, so...
No, it's good. No, it's really good. As in, it's incredibly strong.
Okay.
Broken refers to that it upsets the game balance.
Okay. Interesting stuff.
It's quotation marks.
Quotation marks. Apart from that, that's about all from us. We do daily streams on our Twitch, which is twitch.tv/cog.net. Apart from that, we do appreciate you all coming over and checking out our Part 2 Pokemon adventure that we've had. Do appreciate you checking it out, and we'll catch you next week. Enjoy, everybody.
Bye.